because you will tangibly feel the difference.
Yeah.
With the energy in your home, because everything is energy. Every single thing is energy. This is energy, right? It's all energy.
It's all energy.
And when you're not using it and it sits there for a long period of time, it gets heavier and heavier.
Yeah.
Right? That's why moving your couch and shifting things around in your home and that whole feng shui is a big deal, because it's shifting and moving that energy. And when you have all this stuff that you don't need anymore, why do you have it in your life? Let's talk about it.
Welcome to Utah Business Spotlight. I'm your host, Peter Anthony. Today, I am with a really dear friend of mine. This lady is magical. She is just magical, beautiful, mysterious, and she is killing it in her business. I can't wait for you to find out all about my friend Jennifer. But first, like, subscribe, hit the share button, start to get ready to comment, because we're going to say some controversial things. You're going to want to say something about it. We love negative. If you want to leave a negative comment, yes, I do use hair gel. Yes, I am an old guy. I get it. It's cool, baby. Jennifer, welcome to the podcast. I'm really excited to have you. I've been trying to get you on the podcast for months. Thank you for making the time. I know you're super busy. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to hear all about what you're doing in your company, how it's growing, where it's going, and how you've evolved, man. It's just awesome. First, where can people find you?
You can find me on organizejoy.com, on Facebook, organizejoy.com, and Instagram and YouTube.
Instagram and YouTube. Awesome. And if anybody has seen Jennifer, you've probably seen her all dressed in black, hair pulled back, rocking it out, whether she's in a florist, a garage, like she's on a building site. She is doing it all, helping people. Sometimes you're taking out like thousands of computers and doing office makeovers. I mean, it's crazy what you do. Tell us a little about what Organize Joy does.
Organize Joy. Well, we love to help high-achieving families be able to do more, be able to focus on what they're good at. And so we come in and help create systems and processes in their home, figure out what they should keep, what they shouldn't, and we do all the legwork. We get rid of all the things they don't need and create a home that they love to be in.
I love that. And what I love that we were talking off camera for a few minutes, you create an actual system that you step back into quarterly that maintains everything that the family's doing, so that this way it's completely designed so that they can maintain it, and then you can come back and add more to that family, meaning you can jump in and you can help them with their holiday decor on a quarterly basis. You can set up and manage their homes where you can bring in anything they need to get fixed. I mean, you're doing it all and you're crushing it. It's so needed. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, mostly when people hire us, they're looking for a professional organizer. So when we go in, we figure out like, what is your actual need, right? Are you trying to declutter your home? What's the actual problem, right? Because we want to solve the problem. We want to help you be able to live a higher functioning life, right? And so I ask so many questions, questions you would not even think to ask, you wouldn't even think. And the reason is because once I gather all that information, I know which road to go down, right? I know where to start, what's happening, and how to explain to the client and help them navigate the best place to start.
Which is, and I, great thing is I'm a product of the product. You've come into, and it is one of the things that I love about it is you're empathetic and not matter of fact, but you're very stern through the process, because like somebody like me, when you came into our home and I had years of things, right? And then we also had, my daughter who passed, we had her things. My mother who passed, we had her things. My grandmother, we had her things. And you and your team were so empathetic about that, but you were still firm, like, okay, Peter Anthony, left and right, keep, go, keep, which one?
Does it bring you joy? When's the next time you'll use it? When's the last time you'll use it?
Yeah,
There's a lot of great questions.
And you are able to part with some things. To get back to another philosophy we were just speaking about that I love that you brought up is For us, we do that digitally. When we clear the digital clutter, you have more space to share who
Correct.
you are, what you do, and why you
Mhm.
do it, and how it makes sense to them. You do that in physical spaces, and it increases productivity. It decreases stress. It decreases tension. It creates opportunity.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where the concept came from. I did you've read books on this prior to even opening, right? I know you've shared some of those.
Before I opened the business, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't think of anything of starting an organizing business ever.
Oh, wow. How did it come about?
So I was having a friend, Jeff and Nancy Flam, move from their Walker Estates home to Draper, and after I helped him for a couple weeks move, he looked at me and he said, you need to do this for a living." And I said, "I can't. I'm a photographer. I already own a business." And he's like,
That's
"You
Jeff,
can."
right? He's an
Yeah. He's like, "Yeah,
entrepreneur.
you can own." He's like, "You can do both, but you need to do this for a living." And he goes, "I want you to call it Organize Joy because you've brought my family so much joy." And as he
Oh,
was standing right there, I looked up GoDaddy and bought Organized Joy for $12. And the next day I went to a networking event at Tribe House and people said, "Hey, tell me about you." And I said, "I'm a professional organizer."
that is so cool.
And
I love
yeah,
that origin story.
yeah,
But to that point, you really have it systemized. So that system's in your head. It was there clearly for a reason.
yeah.
But when you came in, I mean, you do it like full on gangster stuff. Like every one of our Christmas ornaments are organized by color in see-through clear boxes. Like it's
Mhm.
really cool, and it makes it so easy to access. It's really an interesting way that you put it together because it's consistent throughout.
Right.
So tell me about how did that come to you?
Well, at first, I mean, I didn't realize I was good at it. I didn't realize that till Jeff pointed it out. And the interesting part is
Wow.
I just rode on the belief he had in me before I had the belief in myself.
Interesting. That's very cool.
Yeah. So I thought, well, he thinks I can do it. Just going to roll with it. Right. If he sees it in me. And so I just started, telling people as a professional organizer, they would say, "What does that mean?
Mhm.
Do you organize taxes?" I got asked that a lot. Right. I'm like, no, not at all.
Well, it
Right.
clearly is another path. So if anybody
Right.
wants to organize people's books,
Right.
they're looking
There
for
you
it.
go. So when they would say, I need a professional organizer, or when I would tell them what I would do, I would say, "What do you need?"
Mm.
Right?
Yeah, what's the
What
outcome
do
you're
you
looking
need?
for?
And
Yeah.
so they're like, "Well, I'm looking for, help doing this, or I need help decluttering my house, or I need help going through my mom's stuff because she's old and I don't know what to do with all her things," right?
Mm.
We actually get hired more from kids to help with their parents' homes than anything else because they don't want to inherit all
Wow.
the things their parents think they want to inherit.
Interesting. Yeah.
And so we help the parents where we go in and talk to them. "Hey, why are you keeping this? What's the motivation? Get the kids involved."
What I love about that portion of it is you are removing an emotional aspect of the process that can create friction
Oh my
between
gosh, for
siblings.
years.
Yeah,
For
because
years.
everybody is like, and so you actually become a mediator of clutter. Right? You're like,
That's one way
yeah,
to
I'm in
word
clutter mediation. What's that? You'll find out. You got parents?
it.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah,
And I love also that you're very astute and aware that you're building relationships and that the relationship supersedes the service. It's always in front. Like for you, the relationship is as important as the outcome and execution, but you're really relationship centered. Tell
correct.
me a little about that.
Yeah, I mean, people want to work with people they like and trust,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yeah, of
so
course.
when I go in there, I get to know them. I find out about their past. I find out about, "Hey, tell me about your parents. Like how were they growing up? Did they have a lot of things in their home? Did they hold on to things? Did they grow up in the Great Depression?" Like so many of those
Yeah.
matter, right? And so when I sit with them and have these conversations and get to know them, right? And then I'm gonna steer with what they need, right? I don't have it's not some, cookie cutter agenda. What do you need and how can I pivot and cater that exactly to you?
I love that. And now I know you've broadened, right? So you started organizing, but you were also then simultaneously you started um, scheduling the homes for decor. Because when you're organizing, I mean, a big thing that you organize, if you, our house was Christmas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Christmas was big, multiple trees,
Yep.
lots of stuff, right? Then you started having an opportunity. Once you organized it, people were like, "Oh, could you set this up for us?" Right? Tell me
Totally.
about that part of your
Yeah,
business.
because we've already organized everything in your home, your storage room, everything. We know where your decorations are. We know why they're that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when we're organizing all your Christmas, it's like we got all the trains here, we got all the village here, we got all the Christmas tree stuff here, right? And they're completely separate. We use clear acrylic bins on purpose, right? When you put things in the black bins with the yellow lids that a lot of people use, right? They're hidden. You're
She
you're
threw all
putting
mine away.
you're putting that stuff in those to hide your things,
Yes,
right? And
that was funny.
if you want them accessible and you want to use them, when you walk by and you see them, it makes you want to use them. You can
Yeah,
see what's inside. You know what's happening,
yeah.
right? And so then
So
clients were like,
interesting.
"You know where everything is in my house, every single thing. So can you come decorate my home?" So that's how we got into decorating homes for Christmas. That's our big season is Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But we have clients that we go in every single month and we put up snowmen for January and Valentine's for February, and every single month has a theme from their dishes to their clothes to their socks to,
That's so
and we put it
cool.
all up and we take it all down, and every time they come home, it's completely done.
Now, I also, and you've expanded because you actually started, I wouldn't say expanded, you're immediately you started by helping one of our friends transition from a really big home to still what I would consider a really
Yeah.
big home, but
Yeah.
not as big as the really, really, really big home. But so do you find that that's a need too? Because I would imagine, like, if I ever wanted to move again, which I know is in my near future, I'm definitely calling you to come in with your team because they're so gentle with everything. They know where everything belongs, and it becomes an easier process because you guys can pack it, get it moved, unpack it, and set it up, which is
Correct.
not normal but necessary.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like, I
absolutely.
love that you
Well,
guys
and
do
there's a
that.
reason for that, right? Because if one, yes, we can just take your boxes and unpack everything. We don't know what's in there or how long it's going to take, right? And so we just get in there and crush it. But if we're going and we're going to pack up your home, I'm going to go look at your new home first. We're going to get us, I can do a full scope of everything of what you have in your old home, where everything is going to go in your new home. And then I can pack those boxes according to where they're going to go in your new home. And it can be so much more efficient.
Yeah. And then you can unpack them too, right?
Yeah, we unpack everything when we get there,
Mm-hmm.
but we know exactly, hey, these are going downstairs. This is going in this kitchen. You have 3 kitchens, blah, 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 right? So we know we're packing them according to what's going on in your new
So
home.
cool, so smart too, because that's really because as you've probably read or know, there are three major things. Loss of a job, moving, and the loss of a loved one are the
Yeah.
three most traumatic things that happen in people's lives.
Yeah.
You take one of those, or actually a couple of them, right? Because you organize the things of the loss of a loved one, and
Absolutely.
you also organize the things of the transition of the job. So I'm actually thinking you actually impact all three. But the move you highly impact because you can make it so seamless so that when I get to my new home, all my things are familiar. They're all
Absolutely.
where I've become used to. You know how to set up my drawers, my pots. So when I'm looking for something, it becomes familiar. There's less stress, and I can get
Yeah.
back to productivity.
Right. And most of the time, our clients aren't even home. They're like, we're going to leave out of town to Hawaii for 2 weeks, and they come home and it's all put together. It's all set up.
Isn't that cool?
And if I have any questions, we FaceTime. I'm like, every once in a while I need you here and there. Like,
I'm
I have
so
this
proud of
question.
you. That's
So
really cool. What was your what's your what's outside of somebody that we both know? Let's pick somebody else. Like, what's your what's your most interesting organizing? Don't use names, but like, there's got
interesting.
to be kind of some crazy stuff you come across.
I mean, we have lots of different things, but I have this one client she called to help with her kitchen, right? She's just overwhelmed. She didn't know where to start. And so I came in and I had a whole conversation with her. And she said, and I asked her, have you ever been through a divorce? Right. And she's like, yeah, actually. That helps me because now I know you're probably going to have double of a lot of things, right? Because that
Yeah.
happens when you are remarried and you have all these extra things. So again, all those connections are really, really valuable to me. And then, the words that she says, this is happening. I feel overwhelmed. That's a word that a lot of people use, is overwhelmed, right? Things feel heavy, things like that, right? So we go through the whole process, and then I cater a plan just for her. And I'm like, you're super overwhelmed. Do you want to be here when we do this, or do you want to be out of town? And she's, I want to be out of town. So I told her, hey, we're going to come in for 2 days. We're going to do your kitchen and your pantry. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a whole thing. And when you get back, it's going to be done. And she's ecstatic, right? So she leaves.
Oh, I love that.
She leaves. But I told her, you have to be available for 1 hour. Because when I pull every single thing out of your cupboards, they're all going to be categorized, right? And subcategorized.
I love that. That's my whole
Right?
OCD. That's why I'm in love with her.
Yeah.
It totally works for me.
Yeah.
Categories and
yeah.
subcategories.
And then when I call her, I said, hey, I show her a picture. I'm on FaceTime. I'm like, you have 12 spatulas. How many spatulas do you need at any given moment when you're cooking?
How many?
It's a real question.
It's a real question.
And she said, I only need 2. Okay, cool. What would you like me to do with the other 10? And she's like, I don't know. And I said, would you like me to donate them? With this specific client, she hangs up on me. And I was like, oh crap. Like, we have a whole team here working. So I tried to call her back, and she goes, that was too hard for me. And I'm looking around the whole kitchen, and I'm like, all right, I got to figure something out.
This is going to be brutal.
Right? I got to figure something out. And I said, would you like me to put the things that you don't need in the garage until you get back? And then you still have them, but they're out of your kitchen, right? So you can see and feel how it's going to function and make sure it's the way you want, but those things are still there. And she said yes. So I get a call back a couple minutes later, and she goes, I actually have a barn. I had a storage unit for 10 years. Everything that we didn't need, I put in that storage unit. And so extracting more information, I'm like, talk to me about that for a minute. And she said, well, when I got married to my husband, I threw a cassette away of his, and I didn't know. It looked like garbage to me. Well, it was really important, and he threatened to divorce me. He was really upset. So I told myself I would never throw anything away again as long as we were married.
Oh,
and so she kept getting storage units and more storage units to put the things they don't need, old clothes, old toys, all these things.
Wow.
And so eventually she built a barn and put everything in the barn instead of the storage units. And so after we finished her kitchen, and me, like, this is such great juicy information, right? Because I'm starting to understand what's going on inside her mind, and her home, and her family, and her relationship. That's one of the things that
really make you different.
Yeah,
you're not just showing up as a function. You're integrating with the human being in there and helping them process through this.
I want to help transform her life.
Yeah.
That is the core behind Organized Joy. I want to help transform her life. The bins, the containers, the decluttering, all that is a tool that we're using within that, right? And so after we do her whole kitchen, she walks in the door, and she calls me, and she's in tears. And she's like, I haven't even looked at anything yet, but my home feels so much lighter.
Oh, wow.
And then my thing was like, I did my job then. We did
cool.
our job. Because you will tangibly feel the difference.
Yeah.
With the energy in your home, because everything is energy. Every single thing is energy. This is energy, right? It's all energy.
It's all energy.
And when you're not using it and it sits there for a long period of time, it gets heavier and heavier.
Yeah.
Right? That's why moving your couch and shifting things around in your home and that whole feng shui is a big deal, because it's shifting and moving that energy. And when you have all this stuff that you don't need anymore, why do you have it in your life? Let's talk about it. Did someone give it to you? Right? That's a big one. A lot of times people are gifted things and they can't get rid of it because it was a gift. Right? Have you ever gone to someone's house and you're like, where is that gift I gave you 25 years ago? Nobody does that, right?
Right.
And so we helped her through that whole process, and it changed her life. We ended up doing her entire home. And then when we got the whole home done last summer, she said, what do we do about the barn?
Wow.
And I said, let's go look at the barn. And it took us 5 days to go through the barn. It was a whole process. It was a hard job.
Yeah.
It challenged me for sure.
And one of the things that I think is cool is you have access to a really large team. So
Right.
sometimes people get overwhelmed. They don't realize that you're coming in with a crew of anywhere from 5 to 10 people, right? That's a heavy per
Sometimes
hour
15,
cost. Yeah.
It is a heavy per hour cost.
and
It's an investment.
It's an investment, 100%. And it's a worthwhile investment because, hey, it took you 20 years to accumulate all this crap. What do you think is going to happen like this for $10? Stop it. Don't be cheap, right? But it's interesting because you do see people and they're teeter-tottering. Do I keep the heaviness of this weight undone, or do I make the investment to free myself? I see that in digital marketing. I see that in self-development and self-improvement in both of the things that we work in. It's hard sometimes to walk people through that investment, but eventually they come around. And when they do, their lives are exponentially different. I love what you're doing.
Completely changed.
What would be one thing that you could leave people with that they don't know about you, but if they did, they'd make the decision faster?
People don't realize it's a complete life transformation, right? We're not coming in and just decluttering and going through that and creating systems and bins and all that stuff. It does something emotional. It does something energetically, spiritually in your home. It changes, right? What's going on in your home is a direct correlation of what's going on inside.
I love that.
It's a big deal. And so that's why those questions are so valuable to me, because when I can kind of start to understand what's going on inside, I can say, okay, let's pivot this way. Let's go this way. I need to be more empathetic. I need to move this. I need to push harder, right? There's so many of those tactics that we're able to do depending on the answers that I'm getting, right? And it depends on the team I'm going to bring in too. You know, we have parts of our team that are really good at specific things and, you know, others that are better at others. And we need them all. But depending on what's going on in your life is who I'm going to show up that day.
I love that. I love that. Hey, guys, organizejoy.com. You guys got to find out what Jennifer's up to, how she can integrate with you. We didn't even hit on how you can change businesses, right? Which really get cluttered up, right? I mean, that's the next level thing. I love what you're doing. Love to get you on again. Everybody, like, comment, subscribe, share. Give Jennifer a big virtual hug. You're going to see her on Facebook. You're going to see her on Instagram. You're going to see her on YouTube. Organizejoy.com. Get your life together. You deserve it.